Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer, where we are going to break down the fascinating geography of our planet's land and water. We're going to take a journey that scales all the way from the sheer vastness of outer space right down to the intricate, teeming ecosystems hidden just below the surface of our seas. If you've ever spun a globe and wondered exactly how we categorize those massive shapes that make up our home, well, you are in exactly the right place. To kick things off, let's look at this amazing observation by the legendary writer Jules Verne. Back in 1870, he wrote, "The ocean is everything. It covers 7/10 of the terrestrial globe. The globe began with the ocean, so to speak, and who knows if it will not end with it." I love this because it's more than just poetry. It perfectly sets the stage for our macro to micro journey across the globe today. It's a great reminder that to really understand Earth, we first have to understand water.
Here's our quick roadmap for today. We're going to look at Earth as the blue planet, explore the mighty oceans, check out life beneath the waves, make sense of continents, and finally, visit some incredible islands and Antarctica. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, Earth, the blue planet. We're starting with a view from space.
Take a look at this. This is an actual photo from the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, centered right over the Pacific Ocean. When you see it like this, it makes total sense why early astronauts lovingly called it the blue planet, right? I mean, water literally dominates the landscape from orbit. The predominant color is blue, and it entirely shapes the identity of our world.
To put that into perspective with some numbers, we're talking about almost 3/4 of the Earth's surface being covered by water. Just a little over a quarter is actual land. It's a massive disproportion. It's crazy to think about, because we walk around on solid ground all day. But geographically speaking, we essentially live on a giant water world. And both these vast oceans and the continents play a vital role in shaping the climate of the Earth, affecting absolutely every aspect of life.
Moving right along to Section 2, exploring the mighty oceans, nature's vast reservoirs.
Okay, so what exactly is an ocean? Basically, they are the absolute largest bodies of water on the globe. We easily spot them on maps and slap names on them. The Pacific, the Atlantic, the Indian, the Arctic, the Southern. But honestly, the natural world couldn't care less about those borders. The seawater constantly flows across them as one massive, continuously connected system. We do have smaller extensions carving into the landmasses, which we call seas, bays, or gulfs, but ultimately, they are all just part of this exact same global network.
Now, as beautiful as the ocean is, and as much as it sustains our climate, it demands respect. We're talking serious power. Sometimes, the oceans generate huge, destructive waves known as tsunamis. They don't happen often, but man, when they do hit, they are devastating. That is exactly why early warning systems are absolutely crucial. Countries team up on things like the Indian Ocean Tsunami Warning System to catch these threats before they reach a coast. And to handle these kinds of events, disaster management is key. For example, India set up its National Disaster Management Authority specifically to collaborate and protect human life and property from these incredibly destructive forces.
Let's dive under the surface for Section 3, Life Beneath the Waves.
Because all this seawater is constantly flowing and mixing across the oceans, it creates the perfect home for a staggering amount of marine life. It all starts at the foundation with marine flora. Think tiny green plants, algae, seaweeds. They're the vital building blocks that make complex, vibrant ecosystems completely possible. Just look at how stunning that coral reef is.
And once that plant life is established, it brings in an unbelievable variety of creatures. You've got everything from a solitary sea turtle just cruising through the current to thousands of vibrantly colored fish darting around the shallows. The ocean is quite literally teeming with life.
What's really mind-blowing is how different levels of the ocean have their own totally unique worlds. Down in the dark, mysterious deep sea, you've got colossal creatures like a sperm whale and her calf. Then pop up to the sunlit surface waves, and you'll find highly intelligent social animals like leaping dolphins. It is a multi-layered ecosystem that is every bit as complex as anything we have on land.
All right, surfacing for some air here, Section 4, making sense of continents.
Before we just start listing names out, let's get our terms straight. A landmass is exactly what it sounds like, simply a large body of land. But a continent? That is defined as a large, continuous expanse of land. That word, continuous, is the secret key to figuring out how our world is actually divided. So, with that definition in mind, think about this for a second. How many continents are there on Earth? Seriously, take a guess right now and hold that number in your head.
Got your number? Well, the crazy thing is, it actually depends entirely on how you count. Depending on the system you use, we could list anywhere from 4 to 7. Take North and South America. Usually considered 2 continents, right? But if you just look at them as a single landmass, they could be counted as 1. The same exact deal goes for Europe and Asia. Look at a map. They physically form a single, continuous piece of land. If we follow the strict physical definition, they're one giant continent called Eurasia. But, for deep historical and cultural reasons, mainly because Europe's cultural evolution was so distinct, we traditionally separate them into 2.
However, to keep things simple and standardized, the most widely adopted system worldwide gives us 7 continents: Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Australia, Europe, North America, and South America. Oh, and here's a really fun fact tying this into our culture. You know the 5 Olympic rings? Those rings were chosen specifically to represent the gathering of sports people from the 5 inhabited continents of the world: Africa, America, Asia, Australia, and Europe. Pretty neat, right? Moving to our final part, Section 5, Incredible Islands and Antarctica. We are exploring the extremes.
Now, obviously, not all landmasses are massive continents. We have many islands completely surrounded by water. Greenland actually holds the title for the largest island globally. To give you a sense of scale, you would have to combine the area of the 10 largest states in India just to match its size. But speaking of India, while it may not have giant islands, it is home to over 1,300 smaller ones. These include major groups like the Andaman and Nicobar Islands over in the Bay of Bengal and the Lakshadweep Islands in the Arabian Sea.
Next, let's journey to the absolute extreme bottom of the globe. Here we find Antarctica. This is a massive continent defined by a fiercely cold climate and a harsh environment that is mostly just solid ice. Yet even here, life adapts. It's home to incredible creatures like the emperor penguin, standing proud in an environment that would be instantly fatal to most other land animals.
But hey, it's not just penguins hanging out down there. Humans have actually built a presence too, all in the name of science. A truly fascinating example is the Indian Antarctica program. Since 1983, India has established and maintained scientific base stations there, starting with one called Dakshin Gangotri. About 40 different teams of Indian scientists have traveled to this faraway region to research the evolution of our climate and environment. And get this, to make life a little more bearable in the freezing cold, the settlement even has its very own library and a fully functioning post office. No way, right?
Okay, to wrap up our explainer today, I have a little challenge for you inspired by the textbook's crossword. Based on everything we just looked at, can you name the coldest continent that serves as a massive scientific outpost for the world? I bet you can. We've journeyed from orbit, through the deep-flowing oceans, across shifting cultural continents, all the way to scientific outposts on the ice. But here is a thought to leave you with. As our climate rapidly changes, warming those connected oceans and melting the ice, how do you think the map of these continents and islands might look just a century from now? Something to chew on. Keep exploring, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next explainer.